Yeah, well, good morning. The comments from ECB President Mario Draghi are not really surprising. I mean, he's been reiterating this pledge of keeping monetary policy accommodative for a period now. And I've stopped really to take central bankers' word for word since the SNB essentially let the cap go back in 2015 after just a week before, saying that they would maintain that Euro-Swiss floor intact for the foreseeable future. I think what's more important in terms of ECB monetary policy is that we're clearly moving towards a less accommodative monetary policy stance from the ECB, and this will support a firmer euro versus the US dollar.
So you think the ECB possibly won't want to taper too quickly to avoid upward pressure on the currency?
I think the ECB will begin to taper to taper again in January and potentially lift interest rates in June 2018. Economic data in the Eurozone is solid. The recovery in domestic demand is robust. Certainly, inflation is still low, but it's picking up from a bottom. So there indications from leading indicators continue to support the case for a gradual removal in ECB monetary policy stance or monetary policy accommodation from the ECB.
So what's your outlook for the euro? We're looking at 1.18 on the euro dollar this morning. Would you expect to see a more pronounced break in the euro trend?
I think probably in the short term, the euro will struggle to edge significantly higher. At least in the near term, a big influence for currency market and the euro in particular will be the expected tax reform plan, which is expected to be released on Wednesday. This could potentially be a game changer for the currency market if indeed the tax reform are very stimulative in terms of fiscal policy, and also if this tax reform plan has a good chance of passing through Congress by either year-end or early next year. If this does materialize, if there is a good chance of tax reform in the U.S. being passed by either year-end or early next year, there's the risk of broad-based U.S. dollar upside could potentially materialize and weigh on the European currency. But aside from that, if the tax reform plan don't prove to be, or it's unlikely that they will be able to pass Congress in the next 12 months, well, the euro, I think, has more upside versus the U.S. dollar, largely because of relative monetary policy trend, but also because of the Eurozone's large current account surplus.